Welcome to the climote self-installation video guide. Here we'll guide you through the installation of your climote remote heating control hub. There are 4 main steps: removing your old heating programmer, installing the climote backplate, terminating the cables, and finally fitting and removing the climote hub. Climote works with nearly all types of heating system. Before you start, please visit our website at www.climote.com to ensure climote is compatible with the one you are considering. In the climote box, you'll find some fixing screws, the climote backplate, the climote hub, some safety information, as well as any user guides which you may need. You will also receive a SIM card, as well as a USB key, containing all relevant support material. Before you remove the existing programmer, ensure that both the heating and the existing programmer are fully operational. Once you are satisfied that both are working, you can isolate the power supply and remove the existing heating programmer from its backplate. At this point, it's advisable to safely switch power back on temporarily in order to carry out some simple electrical tests to understand what system is in place. Now you can re-isolate the power and test to ensure that power is off. At this point, we recommend taking a picture of the existing setups. You can use the image later when terminating the climote hub. You should also label the switch wires accordingly. This will allow you to easily identify them when terminating the climote backplate. Disconnect the existing backplate and carefully remove it from the wall, making sure none of the labels fall off. Now it's time to install the climote backplate. Gently pull the cores through the backplate and fix, secure, and level the backplate. Next, terminate the cables to the climote backplate. Observe the wiring diagram on the reverse side of the climote hub, which corresponds to the terminal numbers and letters on the backplate. You will see that the climote hub has a 220 to 240 volt main supply and has 3 volt free contacts. 2 of these are normally open, and 1 is normally open and normally closed, as well as an earth terminal located on the bottom left of the backplate. For more information on wiring, refer to the installation guide. If the system is less than 3 zones, we generally use living for a 1 zone and living and water for a 2 zone system. Terminal 7 is the normally closed connection for the bedroom zone, which is required for a 3-port valve setup. If the power for the programmer is being used to power the zones, then mains links must be fitted between terminal L and the common terminal of the zones being used. However, if climote is being used to switch a low voltage supply from the boiler, you must ensure that no mains links are fitted. Earths can be terminated in the terminal provided at the bottom left of the backplate. Terminate the cables to the backplate as labelled. Next, you will need to insert the SIM card in the climote hub. First, slide the SIM door down to open it. Carefully slide the SIM into the door with the gold contact facing upwards. If the SIM card is inserted correctly, the door will close freely and fit into place. The next stage is to connect the climote hub. As you will see, climote hinges at the top, and once aligned, close it firmly onto the backplate and lock the device into position on the bottom. At this stage, it's worth noting how to remove the climote hub. Carefully remove the wheel to expose the lock, then depress the lock using a screwdriver and pull the hub away from the backplate from the bottom. Once the hub is in the locked position, tighten the locking screws on the underside. Finally, you are ready to turn the power back on and power up your climote hub. Once powered up, you will see the startup sequence, which begins with the climote initializing screen. This sequence will usually last between 30 and 90 seconds, after which the blue home screen will appear, displaying the current time and date, as well as the 3 timer dials. There are 2 steps to commissioning the climote hub. The first stage is to check the signal strength. Press the menu button, then select Settings by pressing the scroll wheel and then select Signal Strength. You will be presented with the signal strength of the unit. Refer to our website should you require any assistance in this area. Then press the menu back button 3 times to return to the home screen. The second stage is to configure the climote hub to match the heating system. Depending on the homeowner's existing heating setup, you will need to check if a thermostat is already in place. If so, choose whether to use either it or the inbuilt climote thermostat. To do this, press the menu button, select Settings, then highlight and select Installer Settings, and finally select Commission Device. At this point, you will see 3 zones and the thermostat in their enabled or on state. Scroll between the on and off states and press the scroll wheel to apply the correct settings for each zone and the thermostat. Once you have made the necessary changes, choose Save or scroll to discard. If you choose Save, you will see Zone Setup Confirm, at which point the hub is saving your settings. When complete, you can press the menu back button 3 times to return to the home screen. In order to ensure that the heating is fully operational, press a simple boost. The orange boost light will be highlighted and the boost will show orange in the zone dial. You should also observe the boiler running to complete this check. Your climote installation is now complete. You must now register the climote with Climote Online. Continue by watching the next instructional video, which explains how to register your climote hub.